71 is the number. And it is...
That's right, episode 71.
I was going to say, it's not 71. That's the year I was born. Rick was 60 by then. 71 is the downfall of the muscle car area, but it is our 71st episode. I can't see a damn thing.
Who is that guy? Is that Devo? Remember Devo?
Don't forget, the eclipse is coming up. So don't forget to go find your glasses. Please don't come to Armstrong. We're out. So we're out of glasses. So go to this.
They advertise about having glasses, and all these people come in and they ran out.
We don't have any. We ran out in 2 days because people were insane. So anyway, welcome to Street Scene Power Hour. I'm Greg Roden, and we have our host with me, Rick Guerrero. John Lesaganich is a jerk. You know why? Because he's going to Florida. Jerk, yeah. He's going to Florida. So, you know, good for him. He took this one off to enjoy the warm weather. We wish him well down there. So he'll be back very soon with us. You know, there's a long time car show going on. There's a lot of them, but there's one in this area that has been going on a long time, and that's this Father's Day car show. And Ed Bailey is well known with the car show, so we want to introduce Ed Bailey. You're the president, right?
The Presidente.
Presidente, and Rick, I don't see you at all. So,
no, I don't. I'm just showing us.
Okay, yeah, he has to. Yeah, but We'll talk with Ed in a minute. We welcome him here to talk all about the car show because it's one of the biggest ones in the area. So, you know what, Rick? It's starting to warm up. So, guess what that means? That means we're getting the cars, we're getting the motorcycles, trucks, anything with wheels out, wagons. I mean, station wagons. That's cool. So, Rick, what have you been up to?
Not too much lately. I'm doing baseball right now with my grandkids, my grandson. So I'm down there 3 days a week down in Columbiana County. So I got like an hour drive.
Oh,
yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just fun though. I love doing it. So it's good.
Rick, you did that with your two sons too. So
yeah, for 17 years. So,
yeah. So you know it well, and it's. I'm sure you're not moving as fast as you used to.
Oh, no. Not at all, believe me. And these are like 6, 7, 8-year-olds too. So
they'll run you to death. So
they got so much energy. Where are you getting all that energy?
I know. So I just wanted to announce that we had Steve Legursky on last time from the Piston Power Show in Cleveland. That is coming up very soon. That is not this weekend, but April
the 5th. We're going to be there the 5th of
April 5th through 7th. Again, I want to stress, you got to go up there. It's cheap. It's not expensive to get in. And there's some of the best cars in the whole state up at that show. Just go up. You can spend a day there. There's stuff to eat. There's places to sit. It's a great family day out if you just want to take your kids and have a cheap day.
Best cars in the whole country, not the state.
You're right. They do come from Detroit.
They come from all over.
Oh, yeah. So you get a nice glimpse of what's around at that show. So make sure you head up to the Piston Power Show at the Cleveland IX Center, April 5th through 7th. Again, Rick and I and John Lesaganich will be up there August. Jeez, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll be up there April 5th. So we'll be shooting a show, and look for that soon after I edit it and all that stuff for the show for us.
Getting real antsy getting the Firebird out. I ordered a new front grill for it the other day. It should be in. I'm going to put that in. And I'm just getting real picky with it right now. So I got to get the brakes bled on it and get the sending unit fixed on the gas for the gas gauge, and I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to burn some rubber.
Literally. So
that thing will do it too.
Well, I'm hoping for Friday's looking good. I'd love to start getting some of my cars cleaned up for the season. Still working on my 70 Torino, still restoring that, getting the metal work done, all the welding, grinding, all that stuff, all the hard stuff. Then we'll put some fill on and start sanding and getting ready for paint. So that's coming along. I figure by fall, I'll have it painted. I hope, if I can, my health holds out long enough. But
if you're going to paint it black, you better do a good job on that bodywork.
I know. Well, that's the magic of thick primer and lots of sanding. So
lots of sanding.
We'll get it. Yeah. We'll get it right. You know.
Yeah, primer it, sand it, primer it, sand it.
Prime it, sand it, sand it, sand it, sand it. Then you color sand it, sand it, sand it, sand it, and then you buff it.
Got to get one of those nice sanders from Eastwood.
Well, guess what? I do have one, and we will have Mark from Eastwood on our next show.
Is he coming? Okay,
yes,
good.
He is. He will be. He's returning to talk about some of the new Eastwood products, which we love Eastwood because they've got some great stuff. Some different stuff that you really.
How many products did they say they had? Oh my God!
I don't remember. Thousands. I mean, check out Eastwood. Check out Eastwood.com if you need stuff there. I'm trying they gave us a sample of their new sander for like body work. It's kind of like a drywall sander. It's got a screen and it'll suck the dust in. I'm trying that out now, and it is a godsend. My garage is not full of Bondo dust everywhere, so it's not full of paint dust, which is great. So we'll try that out. But right now, well, actually, I want to go through our schedule again real quick before we get to Ed. Let's do this. If you didn't enter the last time, we do have our schedule, and check Street Scene on Facebook, Armstrong Street Scene 2008 on Facebook. We have our schedule posted. This is tentative. We got it unless it's raining or pouring or I have my hips done again. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully Greg won't get ill again like last year. We blew the whole season.
No, we blew it.
We had 2 hips done.
Couldn't walk. So June 15th, Relay for Life car cruise at the Southern Park Mall. Michael Adamski is heading that up. That should be a great show. June 30th, we're heading back.
That I can't make that Relay for Life. You know that. You're going to have to get a fill in. This is probably one of the first shows I've missed, I think.
This is impressive. Rick's been here doing this for 15 years.
What's it? Is this our 16th?
16th year, 16th, 15th for you. He has never missed a show. Even when his wife was sick, he still came to the shows and got it done.
It was close. It was close there. Yeah.
But Rick will not be there. I don't know if I'm going to fill in, and I apologize sincerely if I have to do that.
I got this wedding I can't miss. It's very special family and dear to my heart. So I got to go to Pittsburgh, and I hate missing the show, but this is one time I got to
go. Family first. It doesn't, nothing takes over that.
And my son's going to be there too, and I haven't seen him in a while. So
that's priority. It's just a show. We'll handle it. Yeah. June 30th, the Corvette. We're going to head back to the Corvette show. Mahoning Valley Corvette Club is doing.
Who's in charge of that now?
I can't remember. It was Dan Lyden for a while, and then it moved. So I can't. I'm horrible with names, so.
They had some changes there lately, so.
Yeah. So we're going to check out that show. It's been a while. We want to revisit some of the shows that the show people thought we forgot about. We haven't forgot about anybody. It's just so hard. There's only Rick and I doing this. So it's hard to get around to shows. I still, people might think we do this 24/7. We don't. Rick does a detailing business. I have a full-time job with different shows, and I'm marketing manager as well, doing budgets. So
I got one club on my butt. I think I accidentally told them we were going to do it this year, and then we do the schedule, and it's not on the schedule. I thought you were going to be on our schedule. I go,
we'll see if we can fit it in. Maybe if we have a rain out, we can do it. So let's keep it on the back burner. Okay. So June 30th, Corvette Club at Greenwood Chevy. July 6th. I've been waiting to come back to this show as Greenville Heritage Days.
That's a good one.
That show. So that'll be in Greenville on July 6th.
I was supposed to judge that show. Bill Sumner asked me to judge it, and then I called him last week, and he seen the schedule on Facebook, and he goes, "What's going on with the show?" I said, "Well, we're going to record it for you." He goes, "Oh, great!" And I said, "You just lost the judge."
Well, I don't think I could judge anymore because the cars are getting to where it's down to there's a hair there, so we got to dock a point. They're just so perfect like anymore.
They're so good, yeah.
No, you had definite show winners and you had definite average cars. Now it's so gone to if you're competing, it's tough to judge. I don't think I could do it anymore. Judge my fair share of shows, and it's tough.
It's very tough. Yep.
So July 21st, show's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. It's ours. It's Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show at Austin Town Park.
We got a good host for it anyway.
Who's that? Krista? Not you. So that's coming up. Make sure July 21st, mark your calendars down. All the proceeds, every penny goes to Veterans Outreach. It goes to our veterans.
How much did we give them last year?
About $5,100 last year. So that was the most we've ever given out of this will be our 13th year for this car show, and that's the most we've ever given. Thank you to everyone out there that has supported us through the years, because like I said, not one penny's ever gone to Armstrong. It shouldn't. It should go to our charities that we support the shows.
What was the charity before that one? That was
we had American Heart Association before that. Right. We did that a couple of years. We want to, we did.
Mix it up.
We had Second Harvest Food Bank for a long time.
That's what I was thinking of. Second Harvest.
We had that for a long time. I want to switch up charities. They put me back in charge of the show. Thank God, because I want to switch up charities every couple of years. We need to get to this. We need to support other charities. There's not just one. There's a million charities that could use our help, and we have the means to do it. Why not? So, August 4th, we're heading back to Cars in the Park. It's been
that show.
Been one of our favorite shows. We've done probably 5 episods of Street Scene out there. But we're going to head back. You think? 300 cars at the most, something like that. But the park setting, like I say, that was the reason I wanted to move our show to Austin Town Park, because the shows that stick out in my mind is Thunder in the Park at McDonald. Was an awesome show. I missed that show.
Used to be an awesome show,
and Cars in the Park at Boardman. So Boardman Park. That's August 4th.
The Mahoning Valley Old Car Club puts it on.
Yes, and those
guys are good. They've been doing it forever, and it's just a nice show if you've never been there. And
it's great. So stop out. It's a nice, relaxed environment. You walk through in the grass. You're not sweating to death, and grab a drink.
TJ's disc jockey in it.
Yeah.
Voice.
So we got that show, and August 7th. And Rick, you've been to this one. I have.
This is the biggie. This is the big one. This is the biggest one around.
Octane Nights in Ravenna. I've never been there, and I've been drooling to go. That's one show I want to go to.
How far is that from Youngstown? About half hour, 45 minutes.
45 minutes tops.
But it's worth it, man. There's got to be a couple thousand cars there.
Here's the point. If you've got a classic car, highway miles are easy miles. Pop that thing on the Route 76 and go right up to Ravenna and get off the exit. It's there.
It's like a straight shot.
I know. And that'll stretch your car's legs. You get to go to a great show. And
it is a great show.
And it's not
get there early
far.
Because these cars, they come in early, and there's some beauties there, I'll tell you.
So August 31st, of course, I'm going to drag Rick to this one again.
Oh, no.
Bug infestation on the lake in Geneva. We went there last year. We went there. Me and Rick just attended. So we went there, and we had a great time. So now we're going to video record this for that.
That's a good one. It's nice. Just the setting along. It's the lake's right there,
you're right on the lake.
You're going to drop right in it.
You get the breeze from the lake. It's nice, as long as it's not raining.
Setting.
It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous setting. So stop on up. If you got a Volkswagen or a BMW, anything, I think they do all German.
It's all German cars.
So it's
I brought my BMW.
Yeah, okay. If you have a BMW, it doesn't matter if it's classic.
Mercedes,
bring your new ones up too.
But you're outnumbered with the Volkswagens. Volkswagens are probably 98% of the show. So
what do you expect? That's the way it should be. So my son came up and we drove both my Volkswagens up there last year, and that was fun. That was a first time I've had them both out at the same time. That was the longest road trip. I have a red 61 Volkswagen that has literally 33.
Didn't that one get real long with you? Something broke down or something?
Well, my son, he was driving my 65, and it was fine, and we got 2 miles from home and the throttle cable broke. I had to limp it home. Yeah, but my red 61, it's the first road trip it's been on since the 70s. I mean, it's been a long time. So that was fun. We got September 28th, Sunrise Inn, Car Cruise in Warren. They have it's a smaller show. So that'll wrap up our season. But that should be a good one. I mean, Rick turned me on to that one. I said, well, let's go see what it's all about.
We'll get some pizza out of it. They got some great stuffed pizza there. Oh my God.
If you haven't been to Sunrise Inn in Warren, their food is incredible. So especially, I mean, their chicken. You go sit there for a while. You'll just see pizza after pizza going out of that place. I'm like, and the sauce is great too. Yeah. So you're talking Italian guy loving the sauce. So you know it's good. So well, being Sicilian, Rick, and Rick is what, you're Sicilian, right?
Sicilian, the Guerrero side Sicilian. Yeah.
Okay, so sauce, sweet or heavier sauce. Which do you prefer?
Heavy. I like the heavier sauce.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
one that sticks to your pasta.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not Italian. I have no Italian in me whatsoever. I'm all German and Irish. So and a little bit of I'm trying to think, not Saudi, but somewhere around there. So anyway, so anyway, that's our schedule. I hope you come out to the shows when we're there. We'll definitely chat with you. Rick is a talker. I have to drag him around because I basically know that
we go to these places and people stop me and they know me like they know me, and I don't mind that at all. I love it.
He thinks he's famous. That's
no. And that's what Rick, and I'm like talking. I said, okay, and the car guys are the best people in the world. I'll tell you, they're the best.
Will. Again, when we started this show, it was all we know. Car people love to tell stories about their cars and everything. They're talkers. It's an easy interview. The editing, and I know that's why I want to get it done, because I know I'm going to have to sit here and look at it for at least 15 or 16 hours of editing.
Sometimes I give them too much. Sometimes I give them way too much.
I just cut you out anyway, so that's all right.
But it's better to have too much than not enough. You know?
Yeah, you're right. I've been in both situations, and it sucks on the other end of it. Let's get down to business. Ed Bailey, he is the president of the Shenango Valley Antique Automobile Club of America, Shenango Valley Region. So,
that's it. I knew you'd have trouble with that one.
Screwed that up so bad.
That's why I put that up there.
Ed Bailey's our guest. He's the president, and he is, this show, it's your 50th year, correct?
41st.
41st, okay.
41st car show. We've been a club for over 50 years.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about. 41 years doing a car show, and let's get into Rick is what's your title there, Rick?
I'm vice president.
You're vice president,
but Ed's doing all the talking today. He's the man.
Thank God. I didn't want to hear it anymore.
I'm the host of the show.
Just wanted the famous guy in there. I didn't know.
We just used Rick for his face. That's why we don't have any viewers.
So dark at it.
Ed, why don't you? 41 years is a long time, and it's still going. Give us a little history on how this show started and where it started and all the details. We'd love to hear it.
Well, the club itself was founded in 1972, and in 1976, they became a member of the Antique Automobile Club of America as a region. And around that time, they used to do shows in the Shenango Valley Mall and other places like that. They would put on car displays. And they also went to some of the areas where were racetracks, and they used to put the cars on display at them. And a group of the guys got together and said, let's do a judged show. And in 1983, they held the very first of the Father's Day car shows in downtown Sharon. As I understand, I was not there, but it was in the pouring rain. And it was one of those events where there were a few dozen cars there, and it was mostly members. And the very next year, they decided to move it up to Hermitage, Pennsylvania. And it was up on the Strip for many years. We had some very large shows in Hermitage, and that's when I got involved, was in the 90s. And I'll tell you what, it's just gotten bigger every year and grown ever since.
That's, what I remember going there in the 90s on the State Street, and it's packed. You know what I liked about that setting? I'm going to be honest. I have not been to the one in Sharon when you moved it. But at least yet. What's that?
Bigger yet. It's bigger yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Last year, how many cars we have there last year, Ed?
Well, last year we had 1,000 cars, over 1,000 cars at the show, and
Jeez.
that
It's
was
like crazy. It's like, where's it coming from? The year before
stretching
that.
us to the wall as far as our.
Oh my God.
I mean, our membership tends to be a little on the older side, as most of the people in the hobby are, and but we managed to work it through, and it didn't really matter. We had a lot of fun either way, even with 1,000 cars there.
You know, I'm going to flip through some pictures while we're talking here. Let's, you know, we had it in Hermitage there. And what I liked about it is it seemed like everybody opened their doors for you guys. Mm-hmm. It really took off, and you had kind of like AutoZone, and then you had other places that had their parking lots open, and you put did you put the different classes in those parking lots? Was that the way it worked?
We had the classes in different areas, and it was very structured as far as that goes. And it went that way up until, I think it was 2015 or 16. Isn't that about when we moved it, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around then. And there are a lot of people tell us, why did you go and move it? Well, it was just a circumstance at the time. They were getting ready to do some major construction work, reworking State Street, repaving everything and curbing and everything. And they needed us to move for at least a year, probably longer. And we figured, well, if we're going to move, let's make it permanent, whatever we do. And at first, they tried to get us to go into the park, but we didn't think the setting would work. And the city
plus
of Sharon,
the money.
Plus it was going to cost us some money.
And that's ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Don't get me started on that one. That's just stupid. But
yes.
Go ahead.
Well, that was another thing. I mean, did we want to spend a couple $1,000
oh my God.
to move to have the car show there? And that was a couple thousand that would have come out of what we give away to charities and all.
How much? Let's get down to business. How much was it, Rick?
I'm not going to tell you.
If you're listening to the podcast, we don't know. If you're watching the broadcast of this, Rick just put up his fingers, and if you count, you can tell that it was totally ridiculous. They basically said, he's like, they didn't want it there.
Did they charge us to be at the Austin Town Park?
No. That's free. Listen, okay, I got to stop here, and I'm going to put a complete complaint about that. Austin Town is partnered with us in so much. We sponsor their concerts. They give us the park for free. They give us facilities, and they bring people in from the community that enjoys the park. What people do, they come back after that once they see. I can't tell you, the first year we set that up at the park. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. Or did I? No, I did not. Let's see if I can
put pictures up. I didn't see any pictures yet. I don't know.
No, it's
okay.
Did I not share? Okay. Anyway, what I was going to say is, I can't tell you how many people in the first year came through and said, I never realized how beautiful this park was. I'm coming back. Guess what? That community is coming back. That's why I said I can't understand. Yeah, I know it's a business in the long run. They got to make money. They've got to upkeep the parks, but that's ridiculous. So, okay, my rant is done. Go ahead.
So what happened was the city of Sharon told us that if we wanted, they would allow us to move it back downtown. Now, we had started there in 1983. So in one way, it seemed natural. And there we are, Sharon.
Yep,
and there it is downtown. I think it's a whole different atmosphere for the show. And the thing was, when we moved it down there, because of the streets and the situation, we decided that doing a judge show was getting to be difficult, especially when you have to try to park people on the streets.
Yeah.
So we decided to do it a little more like a show and shine or a cruise, with entrants coming in, and we park them as they arrive at the show. So it mixed everybody up. And that was actually a request that we had for many years, was to not be so formal. So instead of being formal, we figured there's enough places they can go to a formal show. Let's do it the way that everyone wants to enjoy it. And it's been fantastic. That was our feature car last year. That was a 50 Ford.
50 Ford Crest, was it a Crestliner?
Crestliner.
Hey, if you're listening to the podcast, this thing's beautiful. It's a 50 Ford. It's kind of a greenish and black car. It's beautiful. So
it just got in an accident here.
Yeah, that car was unfortunately, that feature car was in an accident. This was about a month or so ago.
Sure.
The owner, who's one of our founding members, he has a couple of great cars like that. Well, he was taking that out for a late winter shakedown cruise because it was nice weather, and some guy turned and ran him off the road.
Jeez.
And he ended up putting that thing down. I don't know if it was in a ditch or it was alongside of one, and he did some damage to the passenger side. So of course, it's no longer going to be a show winner. I mean, it was a show winner for the Antique Automobile Club of America. He held a really nice trophy for that car, but
that's Dick Black's car. Oh, really? It's his wife's car. That's Nancy's car.
Well, it could be a show winner again. It's just going to take work. At least I'm assuming it's not totaled. So that's
no.
Good.
Right.
That's good.
It just got some extra damage that you don't need to deal with, and you know how hard parts are to come across and expensive they are these days.
Yeah.
He does all the work himself too. He paints it and everything himself.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So what did we do this year? This year, we voted for another of our members, Terry Jones, to have his 1964 Fairlane as the feature car.
Let's see. I think I have there it is.
I did it. There it is.
Right yeah. It's Fairlane 500. Interesting thing about this car, he got this car because of an accident. He had a 64 Falcon, and he was driving home, and he got about a block from his house, and a guy come around the corner and smashed right into him. And that car was totaled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so then he gets picked a year and a half later to be the feature car in our show, and we're going to enjoy this one.
Yeah,
but we're hoping that there's no more car wrecks.
No,
because of it.
This Fairlane is very nice. It was a well-preserved car. He's got stacks of paperwork for it from the beginning.
Is it a Survivor is my question. Is it a Survivor car, or has it been completely rebuilt?
It's been rebuilt and everything,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We painted everything, so it's a beauty.
It went through a restoration, but it's restored to original, and it's very, very nice.
Good. Yeah,
this will be our feature car for 2024, and will be displayed near our club tent in downtown. And I don't know if you have another picture of that one that was from last year, but that was about the same area.
Was it was it the Ford we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just have, where did it go? I'm flipping
the other way.
I'm flipping through pictures here while we're on the.
Oh, okay.
No, Rick, you were wrong.
I recognize all those folks.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
This was the location that this was parked at is where we put the feature car every year now downtown. And this was right in front of what used to be where the first Federal Bank building was. It was later the Huntington Bank. And that building was torn down by the city of Sharon this past year. And they're now turning that into a green space. It's going to be like a park behind it.
Beautiful.
And so we use the end of that for where our club tents are. You can see them, the little white popping up in the background there. And we would just want to remind anybody who's watching, if they come to the show, stop by the club tents there. That's where we have the door prizes that we give away on display. And that's also where we do all of our registering people for the event itself. If they go there, that's where they get the first 400 get presented a dash plaque. And that dash plaque you showed is the planned artwork for the plaque for this year. Is right there, and they receive that, and we give them a ticket for a door prize drawing.
It's right across from the big flag, where the big flag
Right
is.
where
on
the big
building.
flag is. If you ever watch the weather on Channel 27 in the mornings,
Mhm.
you'll see the big flag that says Sharon under it.
Used to say Heron, Pennsylvania, until they ripped the bank down. Now it says
Well, that was
Sharon.
we were blocked by that building.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Of course, now you can see the whole sign, but it's interesting that area behind that, there was a parking lot that ran along the river back there, and they're going to be filling that in with green space.
Oh,
but
man.
we're going to be shifting the cars over into another section. We just have, there's just a couple little changes we're making for this year. We're just going to start the car at Water Avenue. We used to start a block further west than that. And the city has asked us to move it over a block for safety reasons, because that Water Avenue is the main route through for Dean Dairy trucks and such coming around on Sundays. And we just felt that it would cut down the number of people, because as you can see, there's quite a crowd.
Yeah.
We have nearly 10,000 spectators at the show.
What did they say at that meeting? They said the one girl said 10,000, and the cop said about 15,000. Then
Closer to 15. And there's the Sharon PA sign.
Yeah.
That used to be blocked by the bank building, but that's now in the open.
Yeah.
But you can see we now park everyone along the main drag, and the ones that aren't there, we fill in then down the side streets. And due to that, we can fit that 1,000 cars, and you'd be surprised how many people we can get in that show.
That's good. I mean,
it surprised us, I think.
Yeah.
More than anything.
If you're watching this,
if
you're
that's what it looked like on Hermitage.
Yeah, if you're listening to the broadcast, make sure you tune into YouTube. Armstrong Neighborhood Channel will have the pictures on the broadcast, obviously, but Rick sent a lot of pictures over, and we're kind of flipping through them now. But again, the crowd is incredible. You know, it's always been that way. Every time I've been there, it's been just wall-to-wall people enjoying the cars. And that is the whole key of the thing. You could raise money for charity or anything like that. I don't know. I'm sure Ed and Rick, you've learned from the years that it's almost simple, stupid. If you make a car show, bring cars in and just let them have their fun. Just let the people have their fun. They really don't care about the raffles. They don't care about this and that. They just want to go see the cars. So
absolutely right. You know, that was one of the things we were told was when we changed it over from having a judge show, we asked in the different classes, do you mind if we change this so that we don't have it judged anymore? There's Frank Draskovic. He's been a member since about 1980. That was he was in the feature car from 2022. His 69 CUDA.
That'll come up here.
Well, I don't know if it will or not. Well, anyway,
that was another feature car, that DeSoto convertible. That was in 2021.
Yeah, you're looking at you're looking at the DeSoto convertible. It's blue. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that was restored by Al Hines, who was one of our early members from. He lived out in the Clark area. He passed away a few years ago, and fortunately, another member of the club stepped up and bought that car, and showed it for a feature car for the 2021 show. And
Nice.
We wanted to make sure that while it was still had Al's finishing touches, it got shown as a feature.
That was supposed to be the feature of 2020, remember, until COVID hit.
Everything was shut down.
We had to move it. But Al did all his work himself on that. Al was a heck of a body man, boy. Just his cars were perfect.
I was just talking to a buddy of mine this today, and it's becoming a lost art to work with metal. And I was just saying, I'd love to teach my son how to, do some household things. It seems like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. The generation now is not interested in doing the hands-on stuff that we do. But I was like, soldering copper pipes for houses and that. And I'm like, my dad showed me that years ago. But I'm like, he goes, well, we don't really need that anymore because it's all PVC. It's like, that's a lost art too. But doing the metal work, doing your own work on the bodies, and that is a lost art anymore. And it's going to get worse if we don't teach our kids and the younger generation to bring themselves to do this stuff. while we're not going to live forever. So somebody's got to carry on our traditions.
That's true. And the thing about that is that if we want them to be interested and involved, we have to accept that they're not necessarily going to like the same vehicles that we like.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be accepting of the differences that let them be original and shine how they want to. And if you do that, I think you'll keep the younger generation involved.
It's a good point to bring up, and oops.
We talk about that quite often on this show about getting the younger generation involved.
Yeah.
And
To skew off of that a little bit, it's like, you've got to, I know there's some car clubs that say, well, we're not accepting anything over 1990 or something. That excludes your younger generation because that's what they're buying. That's what they can afford. Back when we were kids, when I was a kid, all I could afford was a 70s car. Or, back when Rick, he could only afford a Model T in 1905 or 10. Sorry. But again,
you got to be careful. That's like your talent, your draw there. He's your face.
Yeah.
He's my face. He's got a face for radio, buddy. So anyway, that's part of the draw, though. You've got to accept everything. I mean, again, I keep bringing my son into this because he's got the bug. He's got the motor oil in his veins. He loves it, but he's driving newer cars. You've got to accept that. He's proud of what he's got.
That's true. And I'll say this. Our club, we are a region of the Antique Automobile Club of America. And now the national organization has a 25-year rule on their vehicles. And that's fine. But as a region, that does not mean that we have to have the same rule for who we allow as members of our shows. Mm-hmm. And we don't mind having the newer cars. You'll see at our car show, you'll see everything from like the Model T or a Model A all the way to, say, one of the newer Dodge Challengers or something like that. You'll see them there. We even had a guy show a Prius one year.
Hey, he's proud of it. Who cares? Yeah. Who cares what you have?
And, that's fine and dandy. And, that's what you see every day on the road. That people have to remember that a lot of the older cars that we like to look at one time, that was the everyday car. That was what you saw on the road. That was your family car. That's like me. I have a 68 Cadillac sedan DeVille. Mm-hmm. And I always hear, why do you have one of those four doors? Well, I don't care if it's got more doors or not. More doors is more doors, and that's fine with me. It's affordable. And it looks different than anything you see on the road today.
And you know what? John Lesaganich brought this up years ago. Not years ago, but a few shows ago.
Months ago, yeah.
Months ago. It's years to me.
He's our new kid on the block. Yeah.
But, he brought up our four-door cars classics. Hell yes. I don't want to hear. I don't care. You can come and argue with me to my face. They are classics. And by saying classic, let me give you examples. Mid-90s Impala SS, four-door. What's hot right now? Wagons. 5 doors. You got one to tailgate in the back, maybe 6. Yeah. They're hot. They're classics. You've got your vans. You've got trucks and stuff like that. They're classics. It doesn't matter. It's what everybody's proud of. Okay, my rant's done now. Go ahead, Ed.
And your rant is very good. I mean, people have to remember would they want to exclude, say, a 2020 Dodge Charger from a future show because it's a 4-door? Heck no, it doesn't matter. It's a good-looking car, and it's fast and sharp, and you can afford to own it. So go for it.
What's some of these, like, my uncle's got a 64 Ford Custom. It's bare bones, 6-cylinder, 3 in the tree, 4-door. It is so cool because he's got the dog dish hubcaps and it's all original. It's so cool. How couldn't you like that? It's a cruiser. Just leave it alone.
Well, that's the other thing. When you're going to show cars to people and you want to interest a younger crew, you got to show them examples of what was normal to see on the streets years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it was said for a very long time that there's more GTOs at shows now than were ever made.
Yeah, there's a lot of GTOs.
There's a lot of clones too.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Darn
trust
right,
a badge.
A lot of those cars are actually Tempests, and that's just how it goes.
They clone them.
Yep. That's you know what? Cloning's that's another subject we could bring up. Cloning is not a bad thing.
Well, no,
it's not a bad thing unless you're trying to buy an original. You know,
unless you're trying to sell it too.
It's all in how you represent things. If you represent it as being original, then you're lying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're being honest about what you have, be proud of it.
Let's face it. Most of these cars that are restored are a million times better than they ever came out of the factory. So, you know, you get an old Pontiac Tempest, get a 67 Tempest. What do? You throw some accessories on it and badge it as a GTO. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
you know,
and you get the same thrill out of it as you do with GTO.
My Torino that I'm restoring now, it's got GT stuff on it. What is it going to be? I'm cloning it as a GT. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a Torino. I'm not going to say
fine.
It's not a regular Torino.
Well, you're not out to represent it to somebody for what it isn't, and that's fine. And you know, that's the originality of the old car hobby, is that you can do whatever you want with your vehicle, and there's no right, no wrong with that.
Yeah, you're gonna have people that absolutely hate your car. I don't care what.
Oh, sure. You can't please everybody. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
No, I mean, Rick, your Firebird. There's going to be people that hate it.
Oh, no way. No way, Greg.
There's going to be people that hate it. You know, there's going to be people that love it.
Yes.
My car, my Caprice. I have probably more people that hate that car, but I love it. And I don't give a, you know what I was going to say. Anyway, we'll keep going. Go ahead, Ed.
I remember when Rick's car was featured at the Father's Day show in
64 Thunderbird, yeah.
His 64 Thunderbird, yeah. And that was a convertible also, and it poured down rain that year.
You had to bring that up, Ed. Thank you very much.
It rained buckets. I felt so bad for him because he
and the top wouldn't work.
Yeah, the top wouldn't work. And it had the power back in the trunk, and he got it stuck. And it was pouring down rain, and it was like, oh my God! Everyone was trying to find something to throw over the back end of Rick's car so that the rain.
You know what it was, Ed? It was something simple. It was a neutral switch. All I had to do was and it would have worked. I didn't realize that until
should have drug your 10, one of your 10 by 10 tents over there.
It never happened before. It just so happened to happen that day.
Yeah, they call that Murphy's Law. It's gonna happen that way.
Exactly.
So, I got a question going in here. From the year starting, as far as Rick and Ed have been in this, what are the changes have you seen from, the cars being entered? Has it changed a lot?
Mm-hmm.
I noticed the difference because for a while there, when we were still doing the judge show, we had classification set up for tuners. And I remember that we tried that out because we wanted to invite them to bring newer cars. That was fine. That was we were requested by a lot of the guys that had the little Supras and things like that. They wanted to bring that to the show. So we went along and tried it. It didn't work out as well as we had hoped, but we've started getting more and more newer cars, I think, because of it. So it worked out after we stopped the judging. We started attracting the younger people that had cars like that, which now they'd be more of a factory car. But we started seeing, we also had the run of mini trucks that were all hopped up. We had those for a while.
I miss seeing those. You don't see any of them anymore. And there was such a hot thing in the 90s.
Yeah, a very hot thing. And you did see a lot of mini trucks that were real hot little numbers there. And, but there were things like that. We even tried motorcycles at one point, but that didn't go over so well. And one problem that we had in Hermitage was we allowed for a while people to bring monster trucks in, and we had a few of them.
And you took up every bit of space.
Well, they did take up a lot of space, but they actually became a hazard because they could not see the kids and people running around.
They were so high and everything. Yeah.
And so we do not allow them to come to the show in downtown Sharon. I've been told by a few people online that they were mad that we did that, but it was a safety concern and the city would not allow it. And we didn't want them taking down overhead light poles or anything like that.
Exactly. Well, again, you got to think of it this way, people, you can't please everybody. If people get mad over that, but again, what if one of those ran over a child? Your show's done forever. I think
the club members would just stop the show.
You got to put some guidelines somewhere on that.
That's it. And
they're definitely a crowd pleaser.
We do not dislike them. We dislike what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we had to make a rule about that. But I know for this year, coming up, we expect to see all kinds of fun stuff down there. We had a fellow last year. Rick, was that an international or what was it? That
1918 or 1917. It had rubber tires on it. This thing, you should have seen this thing. 1917 or 18.
He had the
guy just
rubber
creeped in
wheels
there.
on it. I think didn't he parked that out by the mall or something? He actually drove it down into Sharon.
Yeah. It was a crowd pleaser. People were looking at that.
He could park down there, and he drove it down there. And we saw there were people there surrounding that truck all day. I mean, all day until the moment he left. They were surrounding that truck. More people got their picture taken next to it, with it, around it. He probably even took a couple with kids in it.
Yeah.
And that was another thing.
It wasn't shiny at all. It was just very rusty and everything.
That's cool. It's got that patina. It's still a hot thing.
I love a car with patina like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We've got, if you want to get kids involved for the future, let them sit in your car now.
Oh, I love it. I love it when they sit in my car. I don't care.
It bothers me when these guys get so worked up that, he's going to scratch my sill plates or something.
Oh, come on.
You know what?
If it's that bad and you need to tow it in and trailer it in, then go to one of the big shows where they have a special area for that. That's fine. That's how you want to enjoy the hobby. Don't come to a show where you drive into it if that's how you're going to be. One of our members has it's a military blazer that was used over during Desert Storm or something, and he bought one when he got home, and it's an actual. It has all the spots in it to have radios and everything. He brings that to the show and parks it out on one of the corners. And I'm going to tell you what, he said that he gets swamped with kids all day long. They want to go see the Army truck.
That's how you get them involved,
That's the point, Rick. Yeah. That's how you get your younger generation involved. And think of it this way. If you're a parent and you have a child that wants to sit in a car and he's turned away by an owner, who does that affect? That affects the child. You don't want to do that. You can make a child's day complete if you let them sit in the car for 30 seconds. It's not going to hurt anything.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I ran into somebody today. I'm not going to say who it was. His cars are beautiful. Okay. And he was talking to me and he says, "Oh, my buddy was over and he touched my car." And I go,
"Come on."
Okay. Oh, he was all pissed off. He goes, "Don't you do that again." He grabbed his hand and I go, "You kidding me?"
Oh, said, no. He left a fingerprint. Who cares?
Personally, I'm a touchy-feely guy because I'm a detailer. I like to run my hand just real lightly. I'll run my back of my hand over it just to see how it feels. If they did the right job on the,
I know. Rick will go out to the car show and hand every car he's rubbing.
Yeah, I do. My girlfriend goes crazy over that. She goes, "Don't touch it." I said, "I got to touch it." I almost got in a fight with a guy one time about a motorcycle.
And that's the point. It's like, I had an incident. It's funny. It was at TikTok. I was at the TikTok car show in Hermitage there. And I just got my Herbie the Love Bug replica done. And I didn't care. The kids wanted to sit in. I didn't care. But I had a teenager jump through the door into the seats. Movie. I flipped out because you know what?
Well, you could go so far.
I just got it done, and he dented the chrome strip on. I was so pissed off. But he don't do that. You know, I almost drug him out, just beat the crap out of him right there. But I'm like, he's younger. I'll probably go to jail for it. So I didn't. But stuff like that. Kids are not going to damage your car.
Right. You got to get them involved. That's all there is to it. You know?
That's it. And, and hey, what better advertisement is there to get that kid involved in the future than to have a photograph of him taken in the car?
Yeah.
And then have that on his parents' phone, and they can show it to their buddies and their friends, and maybe you never know who's going to see something and get involved.
You know, that 64 Bird was a crowd pleaser. You know that. People loved that car, but I hated that car.
No, it was nothing. It was a trailer queen, Rick. You know, it did not want to be driven.
Someone built that for a show car, and then you got a show car, and you try to drive it. It's a complete. If you don't understand the whole difference,
the car's still local, correct, Rick? It's still.
I don't know. The guy I sold it to, he sold it.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, but
he made some money on it. So,
well, you got your people. There's personal opinions between. We want to trailer a car in. Fine, you put $600,000 in this car. Yeah, it's a little scary to drive.
You can put a lot of money into these cars.
I make mine drivers. I make them clean, and I'll drive them. I don't care.
I'm putting a lot of money in my Firebird, which is ridiculous right now.
That's all right. The whole point is a lot of these cars, like your Firebird, you're not going to lose money on that. Cars I'm building, I don't care. They're not worth anything. Let's face it.
Right now, money wise, I'm going to let the kids worry about it when I'm gone, because this is probably going to be my last class.
I'm taking it with me. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I just told them how much money I have in it, trying to get something out of it. You never get. One thing is, when you're building a classic car or a hot rod or something, you're never going to get all the money out of it. Some of these people go, I got $100,000 into this thing, but I said, so what? What's it worth?
Well, let's talk about the restoration process of how that's changed. Used to, you take it to a metal shop, they'll do the body work, and it's a few $100. Okay, now you can't take a car in to get restored for less than $70,000. It's just not happening. That's why these restoration shops are getting out of this now. The perfect example, Buckeye Auto, it was Nate Miller and his dad.
Nate Miller. We haven't had him on in a while.
They got because people started not paying, they couldn't pay it. He's in Rust Belt Broncos now.
Well, he was big time there. Remember that one time we were there? He said, "This is a $50,000 paint job," and I go, "What? $50,000?
How can anybody? Normal people can't afford it. Let's face it.
It was Mustangs at the time too, and
how
much is this car worth?
Yeah, a lot of the cars if you don't do the work yourself, you're gonna pay for it. And people.
Well, we're happy to have at the Father's Day car show. It doesn't matter what the car is or what condition it's in. If they want to show it, they can be happy with it. You know what? If somebody doesn't like it, tough.
Yeah.
There's going to be someone that does.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Ed, how do I tell us how we register to get into the Father's Day car show?
Good question.
Well, yeah, we don't do like we used to do. So now what you do is come down, and the best thing to do is start at the city center parking lot, which is where Ryers used to be. Most people know that.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there and get yourselves in order. And then when we let people out onto the road, which is usually between 8:30 and 9 in the morning, we'll see this year. And we let you go out. And if you're with your friends, you can all go out together. We'll let you do that. You can go in singly, you can go in pairs, whatever. We try to keep you in order, but just you have to arrive together and go out onto the street together if you plan on parking togetger. And when you do that,
parking wise, where do you start at? And when they come in, where do they start?
Well, when we come in, we turn right onto State Street, and what we're going to do is go down, and we're going to fill the road back in so that you start at the farthest end first. And then we'll turn people down the side streets, and the end of the show, the end will be the area that you first turn into is what we park last. And that's what we want to do this year is park. if the people that know the area, there's a McDonald's down there. If you want to be in front of the McDonald's area, you want to be there later, not earlier. Earlier people will be up the street, but there's plenty of places, and you get parked down one of the side streets. You're doing fine anyway, because we park people down Chestnut. We also park people down the Shenango, all the way down near where the Penn State is. And I'm going to say this: there are plenty of restaurants and food available.
Hit the lube.
They can go to the lube. They can go to the block now is down there. Donna's Diner. You have Sharon Hot Dog Shop. You have, I don't know if Coney Island is open or not, but sometimes they're open.
My favorite.
Yeah, McDonald's is there.
Hey, we're getting one of those in Hermitage right now.
Thank God. I'm a Coney Island freak. I grew up with it, so I'm going to die of heart disease because of all the chili I ate, but it's so damn good.
Well, you died happy.
Hey, you know what?
Some other restaurants that are also in this. You got Haitian Sensation down on Shenango. They have great food too, and they also serve I think Penn State ice cream in there still.
Ooh, that's good stuff there.
Yeah.
Hey,
and then
when
number 8, Elephant 8, the Thai Taste. They sell Thai food. They're not right in the show proper, but they will be open that day too, and they are also one of our sponsors. And
just follow the feature cars.
Yeah.
They welcome people to go
the show
over there.
car.
It's across from the library. And while that's not within the bounds of the show, everything's within walking distance. That's the other nice thing about being downtown. You can park as the public, as you arrive later. The show is officially from noon till like 4:00. But you're welcome then to park in the city center parking lot. You're welcome to park. New this year, we're going to have available the parking lot behind where the Chamber of Commerce used to be, which is across the street from the Quaker Steak and Lube. We're going to allow some public parking in that parking lot. Also, they can park down by Penn State. They can park in the parking garage. The parking deck itself belongs to Primary Health, but they allow people to park in there for special events. So you can park there. They could park over and under by the library. There's just places to park downtown for. So if you want to come to the show and haven't been there before, or haven't been there while it's downtown, you don't have to worry about finding a parking space. You'll be able to park someplace and walk right in.
You know what's nice about moving down to Sharon? Almost every business is a sponsor of the show.
Thank you.
They're open, and there's like business. So some of the wives that don't like the cars, they can go to all these different businesses, which is pretty cool.
We have a couple minutes left. I was going to touch on that. How supportive have the businesses been since you've been down to Sharon?
It's been great.
I know some in Hermitage were kind of stepping back. Well,
there wasn't a lot like there is in Sharon. Like Sharon's got a lot of little businesses in there, and they're supporting us. Hey, Ed, before we, I don't know how much time we got left. How much time we got?
2 minutes.
Okay, Ed, let's go with the charities. Where's all our monies go?
Well, the portion of our proceeds go to various charities. We usually give $2,500, as we did last year, to Shenango Valley Children's Transplant Fund. And we also gave $1,000 to the Sharon Robotics Group through Sharon Schools. To help the kids out. And we gave, $1,000, Rick, to the Shenango Valley Animal Shelter?
Yeah.
Something like that. It was either $500 or $1,000 to them. We gave $500 to the nurses group that from Trumbull County area. They honor the nurses after they pass away.
Which is really cool. My girlfriend's involved with that.
Yeah, an honor guard for nurses. And so we gave them $500 to use for getting stuff that they can use for their services. Trying to remember, who else did we give? Well, we gave some to the food bank, I believe.
Sure.
Probably $1,000 to the what's now the Mercer County Food Bank. Believe that's what the proper name. They changed the name of it. But we try to make sure that we spread the money
everybody
around.
Something, It's a big, not just one.
Well, you know charity. What? We've got less than a minute. I get to get one more question in. Ed, your dream car, if you could get it. I have to ask this question.
This is going to sound strange, but I'd like to have my very first car back.
And that is
a 1975 Mercury Montego.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah,
that's an odd one.
On that note, that's awesome because you know what?
Because I remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember how much fun I had having my first car.
Exactly.
That had a big back seat in it, didn't it?
Okay, Rick. Thank you, Ed.
And a big front.
Thank you.
Big front.
Thanks, Ed, for joining us. Make sure you hit the Father's Day Car Show this year on Father's Day, downtown Sharon. For Rick Guerrera, my name's Greg Roten, and we will see you.
See you down the road.